Welcome back to Philosophy Unpacked. Today, we are diving into a really powerful section from Nietzsche's Thus Spoke Zarathustra, titled Joys and Passions.
That title alone sounds incredibly deep and intense. What is the central idea that Zarathustra is trying to communicate to us in this chapter?
He begins with a fascinating concept about virtue. He suggests that if you have a virtue that is truly your own, it's something you share with no one else.
That's an interesting take. So he's saying we shouldn't just adopt common labels like bravery or honesty from society and apply them to ourselves.
Exactly. He warns against naming your virtue and making it common, because then you just become part of the herd, losing its uniqueness.
So what's the alternative then? How should we think about our own personal good qualities if we can't use these common words for them?
He advises us to see our virtue as something ineffable and nameless, a quality that is a unique source of both pain and sweetness to our soul.
So it's less about a public label and more about a deeply personal, almost indescribable inner experience that guides you. That makes a lot of sense.
Precisely. He says you should stammer about it, saying, "This is my good, this is what I love," not because it's a divine law or human rule.
It's about owning it completely. I love the beautiful analogy he uses about a bird building its nest right next to you and you cherish it simply because it's there.
Yes, that image perfectly captures the idea of an earthly, personal virtue. This then leads directly into his next big idea, where these virtues actually come from.
Okay, I'm really curious about this. If they aren't just social constructs we adopt, what does Nietzsche believe is the origin of our virtues?
This is the radical part. He argues that our virtues actually grow directly out of our passions, the very things we might have once called evil or negative.
Wait, so powerful, chaotic feelings like anger or intense desire can actually become positive virtues. How is that transformation supposed to happen?
The key is channeling them. When you take the raw energy of those passions and aim them toward your highest personal goal, they are transformed into virtues and joys.
Can you give a practical example? Like, if a person is naturally hot-tempered, how could that possibly become a virtue in Nietzsche's view?
A hot-tempered nature, when refined, could become a passionate and unwavering drive for justice. A lust for power could become the ambition to create something great.
I see. It's not about eliminating the passion, but about refining and directing its powerful energy. He says your devils become your angels.
Yes, and he uses such vivid imagery for this. He talks about brewing healing medicine from your own poisons, or milking your cow affliction for sweet milk.
That's a profound way to think about personal growth. So once you've made this transformation, is that the end of the journey? Are you just good then?
Not at all. This is where it gets even more complex. Nietzsche says once you have many virtues, a new kind of evil arises from the conflict between them.
A conflict between virtues? That sounds like a contradiction. How can good qualities like courage and wisdom possibly be in conflict with one another?
He says each virtue is jealous and greedy. Your compassion wants all of your energy, but your ambition wants it too. Each one wants to be your primary guide.
So you become a sort of internal battlefield where your own best qualities are fighting for dominance. That sounds exhausting and almost self-destructive.
It is. He calls having many virtues a hard lot and says this inner jealousy can be a dreadful thing, even causing a virtue to stab itself.
He has that terrifying image of a scorpion surrounded by a ring of fire turning its own stinger on itself. That's what jealousy among virtues does?
That's the metaphor, yes. But then he asks a critical question. Are war and battle truly evil? He concludes that this internal conflict is actually necessary.
Necessary? Why on earth would it be necessary for our best qualities to be at war with each other? What purpose could that possibly serve?
This is the final crucial point of the chapter. This struggle is necessary for the ultimate goal, to surpass oneself, to become something greater.
So the very act of managing the conflict between, say, your kindness and your drive for success forces you to grow and evolve into a more complex being.
Precisely. That's why he says you must love your virtues, because you will succumb by them. Your current self will perish in that battle, allowing a higher self to emerge.
So our virtues are not just static achievements. They are dynamic, active forces that are constantly pushing us to grow through that very internal tension.
They are the essential tools for self-overcoming. The struggle isn't a sign of failure. It is the fundamental engine of human evolution and growth.
That completely reframes the idea of personal development. It's not about finding a peaceful state, but about embracing a productive and necessary inner battle.
It is a challenging but ultimately empowering message. The path to becoming a higher version of yourself is paved with the conflict of your own greatest strengths.